Hey, sorry, we're just sitting here jamming to to NotJays vibes, man. That's dude. Seriously, thank you so much for doing that. That is so cool.
Piece of cake, man.
Uh,
Like I
anyway,
said,
guys.
I got that first part, or I got it knocked out in about 25, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like there's just something not it's not finished. It's not there's something missing. And then I got that sax loop and
Mm-hmm.
dropped it, boom, done.
Oh yeah, I like the first one you sent me. Sub this, sans the sax. But
Yeah.
once I heard the sax, I was like, oh yeah, that's a winner.
Yep.
That's definitely a winner. So yeah, I'm
So,
I'm loving it. I the other day I actually played it even though the show wasn't on, just because I wanted to hear the longer version. I know how stupid is that. anyway, anyway, guys, welcome to episode 12 of the Postcards from the Front podcast. I can't see through the fog. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Fog of War. It kind of came up when we were talking about some of the solo games design, and I thought it's such a good topic that I wanted to spend a little more time and dive into it. We had talked with Meandering Mike with scripts or playbooks. I remembered it, playbooks. And so I kind of wanted to talk a little more about the Fog of War and just how some different games do it. So as we're designing our games, we can decide, it might be useful on some of the techniques we're going to talk about that you can put into what you're doing. Before we get into too much further, I do want to, excuse me, just give you a quick update on the Postcards from the Front jam. I did reach out to the Dietz Foundation, and I am starting to pull down all the games. I've traveled this whole week, so next weekend I'll get back to it. But I'm pulling them all down and compiling them into one big PDF. And when I get done with that, and it's going to take me a couple of weeks because it's 48 games, and I don't want to just slap it together. I want to, take a little time. If I can, I'm going to do some spot checking if I need to do any clean up typos and things like that. So I'm going to take my time with it. But once that's done, then I'll send it to the Dietz Foundation. They'll probably give it a once over. And at that point, we'll see what it's going to take to actually get it published. So we are making some progress on that. And then a quick update with the card jam. We now have 14 people have entered. So that's very cool. Again, I'm just still blown away that there's more than just me and NotJay and Eric at this point, and maybe Richard, because the four of us will just do whatever. But I'm so thank you so much for everybody who has already signed up. I'm looking forward to see what you guys do. Sorry, I'm actually in Northern California. I'm at my daughter's place. So don't be surprised if my granddaughter and maybe grandson decide to pile on me and join into the show tonight. So that's a possibility. And I wanted to welcome, as always, my better half, NotJay. Thanks for
howdy,
being
folks.
here, my friend.
Good to be
Now,
here.
you kind of hit the road the last couple of weeks. Why don't you take a little bit of
Yeah.
time and kind of tell us what you've been up to? Because
Yeah.
you've been
So 2 weekends ago, cruised on over to Kansas City, took Friday off. I was here for the Thursday night show. Then got up the next morning, hoofed on over to Kansas City, and played some games at Battles and Brews, an event that's hosted by Jay Wiley. It is to raise money for March to Victory, which is the newest and greatest wargaming convention in the Midwest, held in the Kansas City metro area.
nice.
Don't know where it's going to be this year coming up in 2024, because where we had been holding it decided they wanted to get money hungry and double the rate. So we said, F that. We're going to look for someplace different, someplace that has working toilets. Yeah, you want to charge us $3,500 for 2 days, and you only have one working toilet. No thanks. Anyway, but at Battles and Brews,
That's a really shitty situation to be in.
it was a really shitty situation. They took how do the Brits put it? It was a real. They were taking a piss.
That works too.
Anyway, so got there. Battles and Brews is held in the basement of a microbrewery.
Oh, very cool.
That's also a pub. And so we couldn't. The owner went ahead. They don't open until 4:00 on Fridays, but the owner left the back door open for us basically, so we could get in and start getting stuff set up. And so I got there right around 3:00, 2:30, 3:00. Helped Jay Wiley get some stuff set up. I got my table set up. I ran my Battlestar Galactica game that I'd been working on, and it went over pretty well.
Nice.
I think I need to either not have as many Cylons. Whew. That was the whole problem. We were fighting Klingons instead of Cylons. No,
because it was, but that wasn't a shitty place. That's why you had the Klingons.
Exactly. So we had the Cylons, and I either need to back them off a little, make them not as potent, or not have as many, because I had 6 Cylons and only 4 Colonials.
I prefer my Cylons with a bit of punch to them. I mean, they just a little more enjoyable.
Exactly. But folks had fun with the game.
Nice.
Hey, Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, let me interrupt you real quick, Chris. I would love to do an episode coming up where you talk about designing a game for a convention.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll jot a note down. I know you did a couple of videos on your channel around that topic, but I think that people might like to hear what it's like to design scenarios, or even using Fistful of Lead to create a new game experience for a convention, right? There's not a lot of playtesting potentially unless you use it over and over. Anyway, we won't get into it now, but I definitely would love to hear your thoughts on that, because you've got quite a few years experience of doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then before you get into the rest of the story,
go ahead.
Let me hit the chat real quick just so I can get caught up. So Walkabout Games was here kind of early. He said, hello all. Our man Charles says, evening. Walkabout says, he almost got those books, then the guy backed out today. He's talking about the Warhammer historicals. I have some that are slowly slipping from my fingers that I might ship to him. So it still could happen, my friend. It still could happen. But if you do happen to pick them up, let me know. I said, guy didn't want to ship them to Canada. I said it was too much money. I'm paying the shipping. That's weird. And we got our buddy from New Zealand, Vigilant. Hey, my friend, welcome to the show tonight. We got the Nightbot. I don't know how to turn that off. I'll figure it out at some point. Well, I guess last week, Warmutt and Jeff both got reprimanded by the Nightbot, and that wasn't cool. So I'm going to figure out how to get rid of that. Vigilance is awesome. Hey, Meandering Mike, what's up, my friend? Hey, there's a link in Discord if you decide you want to join us tonight. Feel free to jump on. Potential invasion of children instead of kitties. Actually, there's a good chance you could get all 4 of them. 2 cats, 2 grandkids. There's a possibility. Just tossed out the worst In-N-Out burger I've ever had. Fries suck too. That's funny.
Wouldn't that be every In-N-Out burger?
No, even if they were all bad, one of them would have to be the worst. Because nothing is absolute.
That's a Sith talking.
Could very well be. The fries suck. I like their fries. Anyway. It says rent a cabin. That's what we do right by a lake. Okay, I missed where that was coming from. But yeah, what do I know? Yeah, working toilets are important to war gamers. Hi, Eric.
Yeah, they're important to any damn buddy.
A pinky wave.
Unless you are happy with a catheter bag and a colostomy bag, yeah, everybody needs working facilities.
So maybe at next year's con, you might get some colostomy bags with the Wiley logo on them.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It would fit the audience.
Instead of fistful of leads, bag full of shit.
Oh, but they come shit not included.
Right. Yes.
Because that would just be
you got to supply it yourself.
Yeah. BYOS.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You have been missed.
BYOBM.
Okay. Well, by definition, how would you bring somebody else's bowel movement?
I mean, in a bag, obviously.
Oh, this has just gone. It's gone
south very, very fast.
Yeah. Walkabout says, excited about tonight's topic. Awesome. And, we've said this before, Walkabout, and we'll talk about it Discord. We want to get you on the next week or two, talk about your game, and maybe get copies of whatever rules you have, because the conversation we had a month ago or so, it's very intriguing. And both Chris and I would love to play it. And we've got Eric a little foaming from the mouth when he heard about kind of the background a little bit. So let's talk. Chit pull counters. There we go. Charles. Okay, sorry about that, Chris, interrupting you in between you one weekend and the other. So you were in the basement of a pub for your...
Yeah, so Saturday night or Friday night, I ran that game, and then we had a guy ran a samurai game,
okay,
which was a little convoluted. I'll be honest. It wasn't bad, but the game mechanic itself was unique. And it was there's something there.
It intrigued you, but it didn't quite work.
Right. So the general premise of how it works is each player had 2 characters. Mistake number 1, in my opinion. Each player should only, especially when you have 8 players on the table.
Okay, yeah.
You should have only had 1 character. So to start the game, you choose which character. Oh, the other thing is it's completely cooperative. So all the players are working together to solve a scenario against the table.
Okay.
Didn't have a problem with that. I like those type of games because all of the players can work together to solve the issue, as it were. I
Right.
like that. It builds camaraderie and joy, and it helps build that story that you're going to talk about over and over again at next time all of these people get together to play games again. Oh, you remember that one time, which is what I love about gaming is building the stories.
Yep.
Anyway, that being said, everybody chooses one character to go through activation. And what you do is you take 3 D20s. Those 3 D20s are different colors. And you roll your D20. If you get an 8 or better on the D20, you will be able to activate. There are 3 activation phases per turn per character. But you're only activating one
8 or
character
more on a
at a
20-sided
time.
dice.
What's that?
8 or more on a 20-sided
Right.
dice.
Right. Just 8 or more on the 20-sided dice. That's all. That's
Okay.
20-sided die is all you need. If you get a 7 or less, if you get less than 8, then a card is drawn, an event card is drawn. And that would be like, closest monster to that character activates and attacks, or all of the monsters activate and attack on the table, or monsters that have been previously killed reanimate and become zombies of themselves. Stuff like that. Again, a cool concept. I like that idea. The other thing I kind of like is that when rolling dice, you are only the player characters are rolling dice. Even if I am being attacked, my character is being attacked by Zombie Lord Fred, I'm rolling the die because I am rolling for my reaction to his action, or if I'm attacking him, I'm rolling my attack.
So let me see if I understand this. So the monster in this case has some action,
right?
It takes it against the NotJay character on the board,
right?
And then you, as the character, roll whether you're attacking or in this case defending. So it's always you rolling. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Again, like I said, there's a nugget of really there's something almost there.
Yeah.
So if you roll really poorly, well then you fail at whatever you're doing, whether you're attacking or defending, you fail. If you roll well, then you succeed in either attacking or defending. And so everybody goes through first activation. Everybody goes through the second activation. Everybody goes through the third activation. And it's not, I go first or I go, it's the GM decides, okay, we're going to start here and go around, and we're going to start here and go around.
Okay.
Because everybody's playing on the same side, it doesn't matter who goes first.
Yeah.
Because the table is not going to activate unless you've rolled a failed activation die.
And this would have been good with our conversation on turn structure too, because this is kind of deals with activation and the structure, and that's kind of interesting. That Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
So if you rolled really, really good, you'd be able to activate all 3 phases and no act. The table doesn't act against you unless your buddy next to you gets the card drawn that the entire table activates. Or if you really roll poorly, like I do on a regular basis, you're not activating at all that entire turn, and you're just having cards drawn for you each activation.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's done, you then go to your other character and you go through it again, roll the dice, either activate or have an action card or an event card drawn.
Mm-hmm.
All the players 3 times. So with 8 players on the table, with 2 characters each table, there was 48 activations for one turn.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you where's this off the rails? And there's where it's off the rails a little bit.
Now, the other issue was, and this leads into the conversation we're going to have on another show, is the scenario design. It was not a well-designed scenario. Again, the concept was good.
Mm-hmm.
The what's the word I'm looking for? The execution was lacking, because what basically it was Seven Samurai or the Magnificent Seven or Star Wars, 1977 Star Wars. The characters had to find and free the princess and escort her off the table.
Okay.
Well,
just FYI, that's not Seven Samurai. That's the Hidden Fortress. But
yeah, Hidden Fortress. I'm sorry, Hidden Fortress.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, Seven Samurai and Magnificent Seven is they're hired to give away, get bad guys to go away. Right. Never mind.
That's okay.
Anyway, that being said,
yeah,
I knew it was in a Kurosawa film. And what the problem was is the princess was in a far corner of the table, in a building in the far corner of the table. So everybody on this side
mm-hmm.
was fighting monsters, looking for the princess, where the guy that was over on this corner jumped into the building. Oh, there's the princess. Boom, done.
Okay.
So I think 3. Now, keep in mind, 3 turns was a really long time because each turn had 48 either activations or event cards played.
Right.
But it was still only 3 turns and the game was over.
Yeah.
Did I have fun? Yes.
Okay.
But it could have been so much better. There could have been so much story told with that, because the concept was cool. The table was beautiful. It was, we had the Japanese houses with the, it was all in 28 millimeter, and we had the samurai. I had one dude. He was a ninja dressed all in white. He looked like fucking what's his name from Storm from G.I. Joe.
Okay.
But he had a bow and saber, and and then my other dude was a honest to God samurai on a horse.
Oh, cool.
And all beautifully painted, and the table looked beautiful. The game could have been so much better. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Bill, who ran the game.
Uh-huh.
He's a great guy. He ran it as best as he could. Kudos for throwing it out there and putting the game on.
Yeah, first off, the amount of effort that goes in, and this, so I'm preaching to the choir, but the amount of effort that goes into that is a lot. And then to show up and do that for that many people, you can do
Right.
nothing but say thank you. It doesn't mean you can't give constructive criticism like you're
Right.
doing, because that just makes it better. And I'm sure they would appreciate hearing that
Yeah.
to
So
get
a
better at
couple
what they
things
do.
that I would do to make it better. Every player only has one character, because there's no reason to have multiple characters, because there's no synergy between the two.
Okay. And that then cuts that 48 right down to 24.
Right. Now, there is some synergy between you if you chose a wizard character, you had to take a bodyguard character.
Okay.
That being said,
Yojimbo.
yes. That being said, you could still work that with a single set of activation. It's just when you roll your 3 dice, you're choosing of those 2 characters who activates that during that go through.
You just gave me a thought. What if during your activation you could do, if those 2 are meant to be together for some reason, that you could do an action that involved both of them?
Something, yeah. But at this point, neither here nor there. But just cut it back to, especially at a convention setting. Now, if you're playing with 4 or 5 of your buddies at home, more power to you. Do it this way if you want.
Yeah.
But when you are teaching the game to people who've never seen the game before, you got to make it easy. You got to have it on easy.
Homebrew set of rules?
It was. I think it's based on a set of rules that are published. I don't remember the name.
Okay.
That he said, but yeah, he's basically laid his idea over the concept.
Okay.
Which I have never done myself.
Not recently.
yeah, not like 2 weeks ago. So I played that. So, but again, had fun with it.
Nice.
Because again, the reason I play games, the reason I go to conventions, is the camaraderie, is to see the people that I haven't seen for a while, to play games that I've never played before.
Right.
So, another game that was being played at the same time that I didn't get a chance to play, that I kind of wish I had played it, because I would like to experience it, and hopefully I will. And it was the other bill that was there. So they're 4 guys from Lincoln come down to all of the Wiley game events. You've got Bill, Lance, and Eric.
Okay.
Great guys, amazing guys. They the second bill that I'm about to tell you about, either second bill or Lance has a game store in Lincoln.
Oh, very cool.
And they've got a convention that they run in Lincoln every January called ScroogeCon. And it is 100% all proceeds go to a
Scrooge?
Yes. No, it goes to a
Charity?
A charity, yeah. And they don't have to pay anything for the facility, because the charity owns the facility. So they're already getting the money. So why charge more? I mean, they're already getting the entirety of the gate fee.
Right.
So it's like you run the convention, the cost of
Yeah,
the
that totally makes
space,
sense.
yeah, is the amount of money that you earn through ticket sales. And
Occasionally, humans do logical things.
yeah,
Huh.
exactly. You know, so you're already getting all the money, but you want to charge us for the play. No, that doesn't make that doesn't track. You
So
know,
we're going to charge more to make sure that you get paid the money you were already going to get paid.
right? So I think they said it's like $10. It's a 1 day event, but Bill told McMurray and me that, hey, if y'all are going to come out, because it's like a 5.5 hour drive for us.
Okay.
Uh, it's about a 5.5, 6 hour drive from where I am in Illinois to Lincoln, Nebraska. He said, if y'all come out, let us know. We will set up a Friday evening, just us game time. Yeah,
Very cool.
that's how, because we have played each other's games over the last year and a half, 2 years at all of these events that we've become, pretty
Friends.
good acquaintances,
Yeah.
gaming buddies as it were. He was running Lion Rampant, the Osprey Blue Book,
Okay.
Vikings versus Scots, and it looked like it was a pretty good game. McMurray was playing that game. He was running he had 4 players, two playing the Scots, two playing the Vikings.
Well, if
I
there was
came
only
in.
one player, it would just be the Scott.
Yes, exactly.
So you needed two.
Um, and we do normally have 2 Scots at the Wiley events. But this time we only had 1 Scot for some reason. I don't know what happened to the other Scot. So, and he wasn't one of the ones playing the Scots.
Oh.
But
Well,
that would have
on
been
a
really meta.
semi-related note, last night I had 2 scotches.
Scotches, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But I got in towards I sat down to watch it towards the end of the game. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but it looked like they were having fun,
Oh, there you go.
which is utmost importance. And again, the table looked really good.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but McMurray is a pretty seasoned convention game runner dude, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably not going to go wrong if he's running a game for you.
Well, McMurray wasn't running the game; he was playing the game.
Okay. I thought you said he was running it.
No. This is build number 2 was running it.
You know what? I'm not listening. Okay.
That's okay. It happens. It happens
a lot.
But yeah, it was a good looking table, good looking game. Another game that was set up that we didn't get to play at all. It didn't get played was Battlesuit Alpha. Using, I think they were BattleTech Hero Clicks miniatures.
Oh, wow.
So they're the battle mechs were like 4, 3, 4.
I didn't know that there were hero
tall.
clicks for those. Now I'm going to have to look because that
Yeah.
just sounds like that may be fun.
Because I'm going to discuss Battlesuit Alpha again here in a little bit. But it was set up. It looked nice. It was a nice setup. Then Chris Clucky, who is famous for his 54 millimeter French and Indian War games that he runs at these events. Well, he is remodeling his house. He just moved back from Minneapolis back down to Kansas City and doing some remodeling in his house. So all of his miniatures are shoved away in storage. So what he brought was Commands and Colors Red Alert, which is the Plastic Soldier Company game based off of Command and Colors for space combat.
Okay.
None of the miniatures were painted. When I heard that he was bringing them, I thought, man, I'm going to see some really great looking painted spaceships. Nope, just straight out of the box, red and green. And what was cool about it, though, is two new guys who had never been to any of the events previously, and I don't think had ever been to any conventions previously, sat down and played that.
Okay.
Which is, if there's anybody that is great at getting new players comfortable playing a game, it's Chris Clucky. So they enjoyed it quite a bit. Or actually, no, that was on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started gaming Friday night?
Friday night, right.
Saturday, and then half day Sunday?
And I shouldn't say Saturday. I shouldn't say Saturday morning. We couldn't get in. I showed up at about 11 to, again, get things set up going. The doors opened at noon.
Okay.
And McMurray ran 3 games on Saturday. All pirate related, all interconnected. And I played in all 3 of them because, well, pirates.
Yeah.
The first one was a game called Limeys and Slimies. And it is a set of rules designed to be played in 28 millimeter with ships. So you're actually sailing your ships on the table.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And with boarding actions. I was getting donkey punched square in the face with the wind the entire time. I just could not catch a break. I started off in this corner of the table.
You couldn't catch a tack.
The wind was every time the wind die got rolled, facing right into it, facing right into it, facing right into it. Like mother. Now, when you started playing the game, you had to wear your pirate hat.
Okay.
That was personalized.
Nice. Of course, it's got to be.
Then when you got your first kill, you got your cutlass.
An inflatable cutlass.
Yeah, and then when you got your first when you got your first ship captured, you got a feather to go into your hat.
Yeah. Now, I think I saw a picture of you with your pirate hat on and your dinosaur hat.
Yeah. Yeah, I wore my dino hat and with the with that on. So
Dino pirate.
Yeah. So now he had also brought eye patches, but he never broke the eye patches out. So I don't know what the eye patches were for.
Well, because clearly you didn't achieve that accomplishment to get the eye patch.
Apparently nobody achieved it because he didn't break them out.
Well,
but anyway,
maybe they weren't rewards. Maybe they were actually there as part of a first aid kit.
It could be.
Yeah, because all of a sudden he's handing out these swords, albeit, yeah. And you know what they tell you as a kid? Be careful with that. You're going to put somebody's eye out.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So that's probably what those were.
So that game was fun.
So Eric says you couldn't just start shooting your cannons right away.
Well,
into the wind though.
I mean, I'm set up like this. The opponents are that side of the table. range is only so far. I had to maneuver.
Technically, you could shoot them, but why?
I could shoot the cannons, but I'm not hitting anything because there's nothing there to hit. Because anyway,
Passive pirate.
The second game was a regular Fistful of Lead game.
Okay.
And it was a race. The pirates had moved off of their big ships and moved onto their whale boats, their battle barges, whatever.
Okay.
And it was a race to get to shore to start looking for the treasure map for One-Eyed Willie's treasure. Because in that treasure chest was a pearl necklace and the family jewels.
Of course.
We added a player that came in later.
Whoa. Came in?
Yes, exactly.
Who was later?
Yeah, exactly. I think never mind. So I wasn't playing.
What was later's first name?
Exactly. See ya.
Seaman?
Yeah. No, there was plenty of those. But I didn't play the pirates. I played the table at that time.
Okay.
So the giant crab and the big ass gorilla. That's actually what it said on the card. Big ass gorilla.
Walkabout says my wife is busting a gut. A bunch of stupid old men.
I had her rolling last night when on the show. She came in. I guess she walked in just as I had made mention about Reese finger banging turkeys, because that's what he does. He inseminates turkeys, right?
Yes.
Anyway, because if the world doesn't know, I'm going to tell a little secret. We have bioengineered. I shouldn't say bioengineered. We have crossbred domestic turkeys to the point that they can no longer inseminate themselves. They cannot procreate without assistance. They can't get
a really good ranged attack.
Apparently the Toms don't even got that. Anyway, so we had that game, was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last game of the night was a bigger battles on the interior of the island, and I played the table. I was the headhunters and King Unga Bunga and whatnot. And again, it was a fun game.
Nice.
I'll be honest, I had the most fun, even though I had the wind just going against me the entire game.
Dude, you're the first guy I've heard that's complained about a blowjob like that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, when it's in your face. But it was I had a lot of fun. It was good times. And that pretty much rounded out the night.
Okay.
Each game took we were probably out of there by about 10:30. So we got 3 games played in about 10 and a half hours.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that's with breaks for dinner and whatnot.
Eric is failing with his emojis.
Well, they show up right on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at YouTube, they show up correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just for whatever reason, StreamYard doesn't translate emojis well for whatever whatever reason. So that was Battles and Brews. A lot of fun. Bill bought me a couple of beers, which was nice of him.
Well, being it's Battle and Brews, it's kind of a given. And those were those IPAs?
Oh
by
God,
chance?
no. God, fuck no. They were really good lagers.
Okay.
So, no. So came home on Sunday. Went back to work the week. This past Thursday rolls around, and Jay and I are expecting folks to start rolling in. Our buddy Mike gets there about 3:30. We're expecting Reese, sometime around 6 or 7. Another buddy coming up from St. Louis, probably around 5 or 6. And
this is J3, right?
Yes, this is J3. Jay's July Jamboree. It's Jay's birthday gaming weekend.
Okay.
In 2011, he said, "Wife, for my birthday, I want to invite gaming buddies over and have a weekend of gaming and food and frivolities and beers and the whatnots." And he just so happens to have a friend who owns a winery that is attached to a 1840s farmhouse.
Oh, very cool. Sorry,
So
we have one of those AH dogs going. You might hear in the background.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as the menagerie that I've got doesn't hear it and start up, we're good.
Yeah.
I'll explain that here in just a second.
Yeah.
So we're expecting all these folks to start showing up on Thursday so we can go, because the standard thing is Thursday night, whoever shows up on Thursday, we go and meet at the local Mexican food restaurant and start the weekend with good food at the local Mexican restaurant.
Nice.
Well, we had made a plan change because Jay's new car had its trunk imploded by a tree from a severe storm we had about a month and a half ago. And when I mean imploded, he could not open the trunk at all, and it was still watertight.
Wow. Okay. That's kind of a freakish thing.
The limb that came down off the tree was easily 10 to 12 inches in diameter. Hello, Mike. So that Monday they came out and said, "Okay, let's take a look at this car. Ooh, yeah, we're going to total this, and when we total it, you're not going to have to owe a whole lot of money to get out of the loan."
Oh, okay. That doesn't happen every time.
Right, exactly. So they got lucky there. Well, Thursday, niece had to work over in Louisiana, Missouri, which is across the river from us. So we were going to meet at the Mexican food restaurant over there.
Okay.
Well, that got changed because Jay had a fire at his house. For those that watched last night, you've heard all about it. Electric fire, bed goes up in smoke and flames. My nephew kept on.
Your brother had a week.
Yeah.
Truck and house. Wow.
Well, the truck happened, like I said, about 6 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, he's had a summer.
Yeah, he has. Oh, he also last week the Friday that we left for Battles and Brews, they came home from a cruise to, I think, Cozumel.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice little vacation to forget about the car, only to come back a week later to have a fire in the house.
Yeah. I'm not laughing at that.
No, I
That's
know.
not
I know.
funny.
It's the nephew, being who he is, dealing with trauma with dark humor, kept on and on and on about how the bed was lit.
I thought you were going to say some talking heads.
No.
Okay.
Uh,
That would have been me.
yeah. So everybody's safe.
Good.
All the dogs, all the cats, all the humans. He is going to have to get a new copy of Gaslands refueled, because it was on the bed that was lit.
Ironic.
Yeah, right. So that's how we started the weekend. Then I had to work Friday, so I didn't get to. I wasn't there when everybody started showing up on Friday. My buddy Copeland and Joel came over from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Had some friends come down from Chicago. Reese was already there. He came up Thursday night from Arkansas. So we had people. We had 11 people from 3 different states
Oh, very cool.
for the weekend. Thursday night we didn't do any gaming. Of course, we just kind of hung out and talked. And then Friday, like I said, when I got there, our buddy Justin, he is a U.S. Naval reservist.
Okay.
He's an officer. He's now in. Wait a second. It's Ensign, Lieutenant JG, Lieutenant, right? Yeah, I think he's Lieutenant JG now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a silver bar, so a single silver bar, but he's in naval intelligence, and his day job is working in the exact same office as a civilian working naval intelligence.
Oh my goodness.
So he's double dipping. And he's a former U.S. Marine sergeant with a tour, with at least one tour from Iraq.
Okay. I mean, if you're going to double dip, might as well do it with something you know.
Exactly.
They got the same seat?
Yeah. I mean, he does not have to change his desk when he, the only thing that changes is the badge.
Yeah.
And the uniform.
Yeah. And the skivvies.
Yeah. But what he was running was a it's like a choose your own adventure.
Okay.
But it was an actual event in history.
Ooh.
And so it's designed to generate discussion. And the event was the mutiny on the battleship Potemkin in 1905 in the Black Sea Fleet. And we were put in the role of the admiral in charge of the Black Sea's fleet. Okay. And how we were expecting it to, how we expected things to work, and this is the information that we're given, et cetera, and so forth. I got into it halfway through because, like I said, it was I had to work until 5 on Friday.
Okay.
We had instead of the standard Italian beef that we normally have on Friday night, for obvious reasons, we had what we were going to have on Saturday night, which was taco bar. Thanks to Reese and Will, they cooked for us.
So, an Italian beef, is that like a gangland war?
Yeah, yeah, exactly what it is. Um,
Okay.
it's when people from Sicily have problems with you. They have Italian beef.
Okay.
Um, but Friday night, people started. Did we get a
Do
game
you
in? I
lace your
don't.
concrete shoes?
Oh, what's that?
Do you lace your concrete shoes? Is that even needed?
With concertina wire.
Okay.
Um, I got 2 games played Friday night. The first one was, and again, half of these guys have already heard it because they watched me last night, but you're
Yeah.
going to hear it again. You're going to hear it again. Played Fallout Shelter. Yeah, it is a big chair. It's
Well,
about
it's
it's about
actually
twin
it's a
size.
headboard on a bed.
Like I
It's
said, it's
just
about a
the
twin
angle.
size.
It's just the angle. See, it's
Yeah.
a headboard of a bed.
Anyway, Fallout Shelter. It's a fun game. It's a worker placement game
Okay.
and environment building game.
Oh, I like games like that.
Yeah, check it out. You can get on Amazon for like $40. And if you've ever played Fallout Shelter on your iPhone or Android, it's taken directly off of that concept.
Okay.
It's quasi cooperative. You are playing against the other players, but you're also playing against the baddies.
So I just had a thought. You could do something along those lines, the Marginal Line.
Similar, yeah.
You're a bunch of French guys, you're building, and then when the Germans show up, they just go around it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's really fun. It doesn't take long at all. It's an easy game to learn. There's enough nuance to it that our buddy Eric, not Eric C here, but our other buddy Eric, who games with us on the regular, he's really good at seeing synergies in game mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And he pretty much wiped the floor with us because he was able to figure it out faster than anyone else.
Nice.
But we got that game played. Then people either started or Jay headed back. Well, Jay, Beth, and the kids spent the night at the lodge that night, so he went upstairs to get some rest because he had been going, just on adrenaline.
Oh, totally.
No, the game is not solo. I think you could play it solo, but it's much better to play with friends.
So the term we've been using is solitaire.
Okay.
Oh, there's a whole. Go watch the podcast. I don't think you were there for the Me, Myself, and I.
No,
we were talking about definitions for what's solo and what's a one-player game would be solitaire.
Okay.
No, not okay.
I will go see.
Mister.
You want me to go watch it right now?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way, welcome, Mike. We're not ignoring you. Chris is just on a run.
Yeah. But then I got to play my Father's Day present, and that was Undaunted Battle of Britain.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's a good game. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, if you are an air combat guy, this is not necessarily the game for you. It is very much in the line of your Richthofen game, very much in the line of Wings of War, Wings of Glory. It's 2-dimensional. It's It's I am already planning on getting 1/600th scale airplanes to
Nice.
a a miniatures game. Um, but it gives the right feel. It gives the right cinematic feel to it. It's like watching. To me, it's like watching a movie
Okay.
for it.
I think that some of the stuff that David Thompson does kind of fits into that
Yeah,
feel, right? And I like
and
the way he designs games.
it
Him
and
and Trevor.
it plays very similarly to Undaunted Normandy.
Oh, really?
There are some differences. For instance, the board is actually made up of hexes,
Mm-hmm.
real honest to God hexes. Um,
Not Jeffrey hexes.
no, real hexes. Um, but it's a fun game. I like it a lot. Reese and I played it until McMurray showed up at the lodge at about 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. I went home. I got home about 2:30. Climbed into bed, fell asleep, got up at about 8:30, and was back up. I think up to the lodge by about 9. And my buddy Copeland was setting up his game. It was Fistful of Lead, Bigger Battles. 1939 Poland, Germany versus Poland. With a surprise attendee. And that surprise attendee was zombies. What?
We got an urgent alert.
Wow. Magistra Militum is no longer going to be casting miniatures. Holy shnikes. That's big.
Really? I don't know if I've heard of them. Maybe I should have.
They do 10 and 15s.
Okay.
Historicals.
Huh.
Wow. The designer of Fistful of Lead is Jay Wiley of Wiley Games. You can find them at wiley-games.com.
There you go.
Anyway, bigger battles. Germans versus zombies. Or Germans versus Poles versus zombies.
Okay.
And
I want to see somebody do strippers versus poles.
we discussed that last night. Anyway, we played it in 15 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And Copeland has these 30 millimeter round bases that he's nicely terraformed, so to speak, with magnets on the base, because he's put each miniature is on a 1 Pfennig coin, which are Ferris. So they will instead of spending 11 cents for a washer, he spent 2 cents at the time per Pfennig to base all of his models.
Okay.
And so when you lose a guy from that squad, you just pull him off. That leads me to another project that I'm working on that I'll tell you about here in a second.
Nagawa's comment?
I go to dance on a pole at a stripper Christmas party. I was invited to. Lots of fun. Oh, there you go. Yeah, all the strippers were disused last night. Yes, they were. We also discussed. Yeah, we won't go into that.
I missed last night's show because I had a work event and did not get home till almost 9 o'clock West Coast.
You want to go back and watch it. You're going to want to go back and watch it.
Well, if you go back and watch mine, I'll go watch yours. How about that?
All right, done.
Mike's going to fade out on us.
So we played that game. I got ate hard by the zombies. But it was a good game. Had a lot of fun.
Cool.
Cleared that off. And then Joel set up a game of Battlesuit Alpha where the two sides were playing. They could either cooperate and attack the big bad that was rolling down, which was a ogre-style tank.
Okay.
Or they could fight amongst each other. They, of course, decided to do both.
Were they orcs?
No, they weren't orcs. No orcs. No orcs. No orcs were harmed this weekend.
Okay.
I opted out of playing that game. Because I've been fistful of lead overload recently. Don't get me wrong. I love the game, obviously, but I really wanted to get back to playing Undaunted Battle of Britain.
You had a shiny object.
So Reese and I went and played that. And while we were playing that, the nice thing is it's in a small enough play area that it's like less than 2 feet by 2 feet.
Oh, nice.
Is the game board. I think it might be closer to 16 by 16.
Okay.
Anyway, right next to us on this bar, for lack of a better term, McMurray set up a game for It's Warm Work, which is tall ship combat.
Okay.
Now it's designed for larger engagements. We had 4 ships each, but it's designed to be able to play like Trafalgar.
Okay.
But once Reese and I got done with playing the second scenario of Battle of Britain, we jumped over and McMurray ran us through that game. Again, I had a lot of fun with it. It was it introduced me to the rules. I definitely want to get a big game in where each player is running 10, 12, 15 ships. It can easily be done. Nice. Good Lord. And then once we got done with that, my brother set up. And the Battlesuit Alpha game got finished, and my brother set up The Pit, which was a fistful of lead heroes game. Everybody had a single character that they set it up themselves. And of course, everybody set them up as veterans and were, godlike and all that other stuff. How you doing, Hexy? Welcome, buddy. Yes, I have played Wings of Glory. I love the game. It is what both Star Wars X-Wing miniatures and Battlestar Galactica Starship Battles are based roughly on.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I like it a lot.
Cool.
That being said, again, I wasn't feeling up to playing in that game. Well, for one thing, although I had a miniature painted, I did not have one. I did not have one statted up.
Okay.
But that's neither here nor there. Still had a good time. A lot of the character, there were, I can't remember if it was 11 or 17 one-shot kills.
Oh, wow.
In the game.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, not when there are players, and each player only has one character.
You don't think? Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it's like, here I am, haha, Zot. Oh, I'm dead.
So Jeff shows up and like the beauty queen at the prom, and nobody's listening to us. They're all jumping on
Yeah, well, I mean,
back.
it is Jeff. So,
They call him sexy hexy for a reason.
exactly. So, but the T Rex at somebody, the multi tentacled eldritch horror at something, the Cthulhuid at something. So
It's all good, boss. It's all good. We're glad you're here.
it's all good, buddy. So it was good times. And then Sunday morning, for dinner that night we did lunch. We did have our cold cut sandwiches, and then Saturday night, Donna, my wife, fixed up the Italian beef for us. So we did have the Italian beef, and it was.
I'm sorry, I gotta get this Nightbot turned off. Now it's turned on Charles, so clearly, there's a problem here.
Oh, good Lord.
So it seems to focus if you use the same emoticon like 3 or 4 times, it thinks that's spam.
Oh, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a picky version of this bot.
I set it up for Twitch, I think, and for some reason it's on. I'll find it and kill it. I'll
take it out back is what you need to do.
Yeah.
That was
32 right here should do it
on other streams.
Okay.
We have 2 Chris's. We got me and we got Mr. Long. We got Nanguaya. So there's 3.
Okay.
So I don't want to hear about it. There's only one Jeffy though, so you should be okay with that. Eric's pushing the bot's buttons.
Hey, these guys are entertained very easily.
Right. Right.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so Sunday
please don't provoke the Nightbot. Do I have to tell you people this?
Don't poke the bear.
Well, let me real quick, Chris. We will get onto our topic. It's just we haven't had Chris with us for 2 weeks, so sorry for the indulgence, but I'm getting caught up in all the wonderfulness. So no, keep going, my friend. I just want to let everybody know we will get onto our topic.
Yeah, we will.
Just continue on.
Joel,
I'm digging it.
Sunday morning, Joel thought, hey, you know what? We don't have anything going really. Let's see if we can pull this off. Can we do a pickup game with Battlesuit Alpha?
Okay.
Because everybody talks about, it's you don't have points. It's no good. It's, you can't do a pickup game with it. They said, okay, here are the models that you're going to have. Stat up a team.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go. They were able to stat up teams or lances, I guess they're called in Battlesuit Alpha. They're able to stat up lances. They were able to. Nice, Mike. Nice. They were able to stat up their lances. They were able to get them on the board. They were able to play the game all in about 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, cool.
So you absolutely can do pickup games with Fistful of Lead. You don't need points. Not a big deal.
Could you see if the NFL was done that way?
What's that?
If the NFL was done that way, you show up with your lineup and the ref goes, you've got 5 too many points. That wide receiver doesn't get to play tonight.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. And then we started another one of Palmer's You Are There things. We only got about a third to halfway through it when we finally said, wow, it's getting later than we thought. So let's go ahead and wrap up and head home. But that one was, and we're going to pick that one up again, either on a Discord later this year or next year, or Datcord, yeah. But that one was the bonus army, the World War I vets marching on Washington, D.C., saying, hey, give us our bonus money that you promised us when we came back from France. I know you said you want to give it to us in 1945, but it's 1932, and we're hungry as fuck. We want our money now. And they marched. So we were put into the position of the Washington, D.C. police chief. Okay. How are you handling 18,000 people showing up?
Nice.
So
how did you handle them?
We only got halfway through, and then we stopped. So, yeah, we're sending you a teddy bear, Hexy.
Should that be the next giveaway on my channel?
Teddy bear? Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, Hex, I got paid. I got a box of Russians coming your way next week. So now that I said it's going to get done, but they've been sitting there in the box waiting for me to get some funds to ship them. So the Russians are coming, my friend.
Nice. Speaking of Russians, because we had Bigger Battles played this last weekend, and we had Battlefield Alpha played.
Oh, hold on. And
weekend.
Mike, your miniatures as well. Those are the 2 packages going out next week from me. Sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
That's okay.
No, I owe you an IPA now.
Yeah, you can keep it. I'll take a double stout, though.
Okay. I can probably find one of those.
Anyway.
I think Dr. Seuss created a few of those.
I think he did. So, as y'all know, I am going to be working on 3mm. That right there is a 3mm M60A3.
Looks like a bed bug.
Yeah, well,
it's got hair on it.
When you have 4 dogs and 7 cats living in the house now, you're going to have hair fucking everywhere. Except on the top of my head, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it slid down to your back. It's still there.
No, I don't have hair. I don't have a hairy back.
Then you're an alien.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've decided to work on cards to do my either Bigger Battles or Battlefield Alpha. I'm not sure yet, but I'm only using it as a framework. I'm using my own. I'm coming up with my own weapons information.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is each player will have, if you're an American player, you'll have a reinforced company. So you'll have 3 tank platoons, your anti-tank platoon, and you'll have a battalion asset like a scout platoon or a mortar team or something.
Okay, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Why is your D10 inside of a D6? Or is that a D, what, 1, 2, 3? Yeah.
It's a hexagon.
Right. Isn't that like a D20?
No, it's just a hexagon. It's not. It's nothing other than it's a hexagon.
I'm sorry, I'm distracting.
It could be a circle. It could be a triangle. I just decided on hexagon because
it could be a butterfly.
Cool. And so each, and then they work like hordes, in the fact that each card will activate 2 or 3 stands at a time.
Oh, okay.
So I will have a tank platoon, like the M60 tank platoon has 5 tanks on it, so it gets 5 damage points. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a like a 32 millimeter hexagon base, just like Copeland did for his 15 millimeter stuff,
Mm-hmm.
with 5 magnets on it.
Yeah, and those magnets
And
are
then-
cheap too.
Yeah, and he showed me a thing on a place on Amazon that I can buy ferrous bases, metal bases, for like 250 3/8 inch bases
Mm-hmm.
for like $12.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. So that way, now people can use the cards here
Mm-hmm.
and can mark off shock and damage as you go, or have my I'll have my bases that I can pull the individual tanks off as I lose tanks.
Right.
So the other thing that I've added is
A real gamer would have made damaged tanks and kept them all on the thing, but
don't tempt me. I already have to make 340. No, how many? I have to make 6 battalions worth of armor in 1-to-1 scale. So
You got some more.
54 times 6. Yeah, 340 tanks. So this is the M60A3 and the M1A1. You can see I've got the weapons down here. We got heavy armor, stabilizers, tracked, thermal sights. We even got super heavy armor on the M1A1,
Mm-hmm.
advanced sights. Then we've got the M901 and the M113 tow. And I've got it to where it is you can shoot twice before you have to reload.
Okay.
And that's how I denote that. Over
I
here,
used to do that when I was like 22.
yeah. Over here,
Screw you, Chris. That was a funny joke. You don't get to just hand wave that away. Yeah.
well,
And anyway,
that's how you reloaded, right? You had to hand wave.
boom. There we go. Anyway, keep going.
So I've got it set up as limited ammo, as you can see here in the traits.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas on limited ammo, you have to reload, or not limited ammo, but reload. You have to reload after every shot with the M113 tow. Over here, you only have to reload after every 2 shots.
Okay.
And how I did that, it might be hard to see, but that black dot there has an R in it to note reload. So you mark off 2, reload, mark off 2, reload.
Okay, that works.
Then I've also got mortars here, being able to fire both HE rounds and smoke. Blast 2, meaning it's a 2-inch blast radius. Blast 3, which makes it a 3-inch blast radius. Terrifying, mean anything within 6 inches of that. If it's infantry or a soft side vehicle,
Right.
takes an additional shock marker.
Okay.
Even though it's not getting directly hit, it still has to take shock markers. So then I started working on the Soviets.
Dude, you've been busy.
I've got all of this done in the last 24 hours.
And you know what? In all seriousness, every now and then I'll get on a little spur like that where I'll go from thinking about something to a prototype and playing in 8 hours, right? With game design that goes from concept to actually sitting with my buddies having a drink in less than a day. So that's awesome.
And then, so you'll notice on the T55, we only have 3 damage, and the T72s only have 3 damage because each of their platoons is only 3 tanks.
Okay. It looks like the same tank in the picture.
It is. I haven't changed the photo of it yet.
Okay.
And then this was this was going to be my next thing. It's going to be the 82 millimeter mortar that gets pulled around by trucks, but I haven't made the changes yet. But yeah. So I should be able to, well, just with this here on the American side, I should be able to get a game played. If I can get the Soviets to the same level as I've got this, I can have a game played this weekend.
Oh, very cool. Well, it seems like you're close.
If it works. Yeah. So I'm working with my buddy Copeland on it. He's got a. We had.
You need to get him on. You seem to do some design with him, and you've mentioned he's kind of a math wizard.
Yeah,
so I'd love to get him on and talk about Ocean Thunder and hear some of his thoughts on that design and his his mathematics skills, how he came up with that. I mean, I've heard your story.
I have a hard enough time getting him on I have a hard enough time getting him to watch my show. Much less.
Well, sometimes friendships are one way like that. I mean,
no, it's he's.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He has a life, unlike me. But yeah, it's I've said that I'm wanting to do the entirety of the 49th Armored Division. What am I going to do with it? This is what I'm going to do with it.
Nice.
So.
Cool. Well, you've been making quite a bit of progress then, though. Either way.
Yeah. So you want to talk about Fog of War?
Well, hold on. Mike, what have you been working on lately? Cause you still got a card game?
So the card game, I'm just doing research right now of existing games that I have on Greek mythology. I ordered another one. I found a card game on Drive-Thru Cards called Pantheon. Ordered that. Most of my time spent. Finally got my storage unit all cleared out. We moved the last load yesterday. It's closed down. No more over $300 a month. All that. So that's
what a nice win that is.
Yeah, it's taken way too long. I mean, there was way too many comics, too many boxes of books and racks, and there was a mattress in there and exercise equipment, and my wife had some totes of Beanie Babies and craft stuff and things like that. I still don't have places to put it all, so I'm gonna need to get rid of.
Well, yeah, but you got $300 more in your pocket.
Yep. So that's good. So I figured take a little break, do some painting of some minis, and then get back to do some game design. So,
yeah. And then for those who don't know, you recently broke through the 500 sub level.
Yep. Thank you for everyone with their support, and they're getting the word out and stuff. And
awesome.
Unfortunately, not everyone could win. Mini Warmutt managed to score something, but Jaffe was in there, and Chris was in there. Eric was in there, but only Mini Warmutt scored of those people that are running in this circle. But somebody won.
Nice.
He almost took the Napoleon game, Wellington's victory, and Jeff convinced him, like, you don't want that, you'll cry.
No, he won't. He won't cry. He will
Big.
have to be rushed to the hospital again.
Too big. Like, "Ah." So he took the other one, which is was the mystery box. So he doesn't know what it is. It'll probably show up there tomorrow, I guess. I think.
Mystery box. I love it. Good job.
Yeah. So yeah, I had that for each category, one mystery box, and three of the 5 people took mystery boxes, and 2 of them took the known quantities. That was interesting.
Okay.
I would have liked to have known it was in the sci-fi mystery box, but no.
You can ask Eric Guy. He's the guy, Phoenix Knight. He hangs out on the War Room a lot. He's got his channel.
Yeah. I saw he was on last weekend, I think, and they were talking with him. It was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Meandering Mike 500. Cool. Okay, so that's the intro to our show for tonight. Hour and a half in. Love it. No, dude, you were missed. You were missed. So I was getting me some fill in my Chris. I needed it. It's all good. It's all good. So we got about a half an hour. You know what I might do? I might just bump this conversation to next week so that we can really dive into the fog of war, because I know some people were looking forward to it. And hey, you know, we do things different here. We just meander around sometimes, and that's why we have Mike with us.
We could talk about the frogs of war instead. We could just leap right into that subject.
There we go.
Well, you know, when you leap into it, a frog will tell you how far it is into the water. It's knee deep, knee deep.
I knew you were going somewhere. Preparing some of that corny dad humor.
Real quick, what do you get if you cut a police officer's head in fourths?
Something
police headquarters. I told that one to McMurray, and he said, I'm going to get into so much trouble telling that joke.
Yeah. So I've tried the marsupial joke, and it's bombed with everybody. Maybe I just don't know how to tell it. So anyway, so Eric's asking what we're going to play tomorrow night. Yeah, maybe we'll. I was talking with Chris before the show that we might do his running. Is it Running Silent is yours?
Yeah, Silent Running is the movie.
Yeah,
Running Silent is the game.
Again, please don't poke the Nightbot. I think I'm going to leave it there and let it harass you guys.
What did he do this time?
He used 3 punctuation or emoticons that were the same, and it considers that to be spam.
Where?
Every time it's posted tonight, someone it's giving a warning to.
Yeah,
3 different people getting warnings tonight.
I think I'm going to leave it. It's become a thing now.
But see, I don't see where he did it.
I don't either.
Sometimes you can still see it, and sometimes it disappears. Right? So sometimes it's removed it from chat, and other times you can tell what they did. Because like one of the Charles I could see, there was 3 thumbs up in a row, and that's what got him in trouble. 4 for Eric. Eric C did one with 4. So
yeah, I think we're going to keep Nightbot. It's now become funny. So yeah, this week I've been traveling. I did want to talk about the fog of war, so maybe we could. I don't want to do it over 2 episodes. We'll run it for next week. So we'll talk about that. So, are you trying to trigger it?
Yes.
Great. Now we've got our little game. Trigger the Nightbot.
We could all see if it'll ban all of us. We could all do it. So
thing. I had another topic I wanted to talk about, but it's a little more in depth as well. So I don't have a little short topic that we can chit chat about off the top of my head, unless somebody in chat has some stuff. Hey, there's Raider fan. Oh, he's trying to. Okay, everybody's now trying to piss off my Nightbot. There you go. You got it, boss. Stop spamming emotes warning. Oh my God. Okay, so okay. Now this has become a thing.
Can't detect it over multiple words, spacing it out. So
Yeah, this has become a game. So this is exciting stuff.
Testes, 1, 2, 3 testes.
Yeah. So, Mike, I saw one of your videos where you had gotten, was it that huge war game? Help me out. The World War One.
Oh, the Axis and Allies.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you had a chance to dig into that much? Because that looked pretty interesting.
No, after I unboxed it, I haven't had a chance, but I've been watching NotJay because he got a copy, and then he's been playing around with trying to like improving some of the components and getting a better like display counting sheet for all the production points. And
okay,
he was creating the problem they had in the original game. There weren't enough soldiers. Like for infantry, you could have infantry in so many different territories, and everyone assumed when they were going to republish it, they were going to fix that. They didn't. So there's still, like, right from the very beginning, the Germans don't have enough infantry to have one in each territory. Then you use like poker chips underneath to show how many infantry in that area. But so NotJay was like doing some things to get around that and have different infantry figures and stuff.
Interesting. You think that would be something that would get fixed in a game like that?
Well, in my copy of Axis and Allies, though, is they had the red and white chips to denote how many you had there.
Right. But if you have, in many of the games, you don't start in that many territories. But at this scale, and for World War I, the Germans have so many areas, they don't have enough to put one per each area, because they have like infantry everywhere. So whether you have one or more, you need at least one infantry figure to say, yeah, and then you chips to make the count. So you can have an unlimited of chips, but if you don't have the figure, it's like, I got to use something else. So I use infantry figure and a candy corn or something.
Yeah, interesting.
But I did, just off of eBay, hunted for, of course you can't see these, German infantry 172 scale. This vendor had packs that had been opened and some of the stuff taken out of it. So I got various, because they're unpainted, but I got 4 different packs. So I will be able to address this issue. And as if you can't tell, I definitely have a acquisition disorder, or I can't help buying more crap.
Yeah, I think I mentioned I've got my Kill Team box, and one of the reasons why I haven't built anything is because I can't build all the permutations of the unit types, and I'm worried that as soon as I build the guy with the flamer, I won't use it, and I wish I would have had the guy with the plasma gun. I have a special guest. Come up here, little one. You can be on there.
Visitors.
I'm going to hide everybody. So.
That's not a cat.
Oh, there's a cat right here.
And the cat, yeah.
Well, my lap is full. She just had her dinner. Oh, nice.
All my indulgences.
So you got a discount on them because they were what, damaged?
Well, let's see. So one of these was 99 cents. It was an auction, and I was the one that bid. And then one was $4.50. One was like $5, and I think the big one was like $7.
Okay.
And one of these actually had, I think this one, more than the number of, normally I'm supposed to have 48 and has 52 in it, but it's like you said, there's two different sets, each are missing pieces, but he put the two together and all of them there's more than 52, but some of the figure, like a complete run of one of the figures is missing, but there's extras. I don't know. I didn't care. I just wanted a whole bunch of Germans.
I think he means cat.
No, I think it's hat.
Hat Industries,
Where-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, of course, I've got other stuff came too today. More.
so you said you've been painting quite a bit lately then?
No,
Well, you bought I saw you have like the super duper speed paint package or whatever with.
I bought that. I put a poll on my channel to let you guys decide what I'll paint next. So if you go to my community tab, you can see the poll and you can decide which of 3 different kind of things I'll paint next. It's up to you, the viewers.
I voted.
Hello.
You too.
Well,
You
last
can
check
too.
Tied. There was a 3-way tie.
Hello.
Let's take a look here.
Yep, it is tied currently. 15 votes, 3-way tie.
Boo.
And I will end.
There's only one right. There's only one right. There's only one right choice. I'm not going to say what it is. People have to search their souls
decide for themselves.
and decide for themselves. But we
So-
all know one is the correct one.
That
And
poll
if
will be
you vote-
open through Friday night. So get your votes in.
If you vote differently, you know you're wrong. Just saying. Do you have any dice, Mr. Hiss?
Do I have any dice?
Yeah, that's the question from Nanguea.
Any dice in your room? No, I'm traveling. I'm at my daughter's house. I'll be driving home on Sunday, about a 6.5 hour drive. So, but I did not bring any dice. The puppies.
Shame on you.
So, what would I need the dice for? Oh, trust me, she's already. When I bring games, she's digging into them. So I'm sure she's going to learn some of these at some point in time.
That's cool.
Sorry, guys.
She's entertaining herself.
Could be worse.
Yeah, I'm going to
So-
mute her for a
It could
second.
be Hissy doing that.
So, what are your plans, Mr. Hiss, on when you get home and start working with gaming again and not having to deal with driving for 3 hours to get to work?
Yeah, right now I have an hour and a half commute into the office and an hour and a half commute back if there's no traffic. She's not going to stop.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
What is she? 4? 3? 4? 3? What age is she? She's 4.
Scarlett, how old are you? 4? Well, show them. You're not 3. Okay.
Talk about going off the rails.
I suspect he's tickling her, and that's he's keeping it. Oh, okay.
No, she's 4, and little girls are goofy when they get in front of cameras when they're 4.
Yeah, and she's a ham.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Anywho,
Be quiet for a second. Yeah, so this show, obviously, we get blah, 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 blah. We didn't get to our topic, but like I said, we'll cover it next week. And then a couple of episodes ago, I wanted to add an episode where we talk about a mechanic, and I haven't brought that back only because one, I partially forgot, and two, we had a guest and kind of went through that. So hopefully we'll sit down maybe next week. But I want to get some feedback from Chris, and now I've got a dog barking. It's just getting crazy. And also from Eric on maybe a mechanic that you guys had enjoyed in a game that we can expand upon, because I want to kind of share those with the group. So as we're going in and designing something, hey, go check out this game, look at this mechanic. And again, I was talking about the way the terrain was done in Point Blank. So I did go back to the last couple episodes and put a link to Zilla Blitz's videos where he does.
So you're not talking about a car mechanic or an airplane mechanic? You mean a mechanism?
Yes. Some game mechanic or mechanism that you find interesting that you'd kind of like to share with the crowd to say, hey, this is something that maybe as a designer you could use in your design as well, because I find it intriguing, or whatever the case may be.
yeah, it'd be an interesting topic to work on.
Let me get caught up with chat a little bit. So, Nagawa, thank you very much. Yes, it does put things in perspective. This little one grounds me. She has become my new boss. Okay. Calm down. Oh, and then Charles says my youngest granddaughter looks for anything she can, smash, grab, and yeah. And my grandson, who's 2, or almost 2, is basically Bam Bam. I mean, dead on.
Yes, it's exactly right.
Chaos factor.
Very factual.
You cannot control the frogs of war. No.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
So, guys, I think, unless Chris and Mike want to carry us to the end, which I don't mind, I'm gonna call it a night.
I called it early last night myself, so I called my show early last night also, so it's a good trend to go with.
So anyway, guys, thank you for putting up with my little one. I appreciate it. Obviously, I'll be back in San Diego next week, so it won't be quite as ruckus of a crowd. We will get into the fog of war and walkabout. I'll hit you up midweek about maybe coming on, even next week if you've got time, or the following week we'll have you come on. Definitely want to see your game and some of your thoughts, because again, when we had that kind of just little hangout, there was a very interesting conversation, and the way that you kind of done your game, I think other people should hear about. She is not going to run out of energy anytime soon.
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. Again, as always, Chris, thanks for being here with me, and meandering Mike, you're always welcome, my friend. So thanks for popping in tonight. I appreciate it. And I can't even get the outro. Good night, guys. We'll see you next week.